Everyone, forgive me for on a camera. Thank you for joining us. And for those who were with us last week, I really enjoyed the session. We did a special session because Danny was away. He's back now. And so it's going to be his show today. But we got a great show for you because everything is kind of working. Essentially, what we did here last week, what we talked about, we focused on, as Pastor Friedman, he has creative works. And we wanted to take a second and back up and look at it from a intellectual property protection standpoint. And so we really looked at, okay, how are people protecting their intellectual property? And so that started me along the journey because his work is very important. His concepts and ideas are created from him originally, and he's using artificial intelligence to help amplify the message. And that's all there is to it. But he owns that data. What we talked about were several ways when you start naming them. There's certain naming conventions. If you could scroll down there, I think we have an example. Yes, right here. How to use this matrix is very important. It gives you examples of how to name your files. Naming your files properly will help in SEO, but also start tagging all your data and content that you create for social media posts and blogs. We live in an AI-driven world, algorithms, search engines. It only makes sense to position your documents, the content you create, tag them properly. Anyway, Danny, did I explain that correctly? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Nailed it right on the head.
Okay, well, that's all I have. Thanks.
All right. So this is a great document, and feel free to reach out to us if you need a copy of it. We'll be happy to share it with you as well. Thanks, Tina. All right. We'll move this out of the way. Last week, as Joel mentioned, I was out and about. We were down in Puerto Rico for a mastermind. There we go, mastermind. So that was interesting. It's essentially a concentrated version of what we do here every Thursday, where we actually build businesses, show you all the tools that you need using both the white label platform and whatever other tools you need to get where you're going. I think everybody's seen the new layout, and remember, you have complete control over ultimately how this is going to be looking on your desktop. The dashboard has changed in that sense, where you can rearrange the icons. You can also create folders, give the folder a name, and drag whatever icons you want into those folders. For the most part, all of the icons are displayed. There are a few that are in folders for specific reasons. For example, I have all the apps that require white label in this folder. Those include all of the custom AI app builders. And there has been some updates to some of these apps, and I'll touch on those, if not this week, next week. And if the app has a price point on it, it'll show a lock. For example, this one is the Business Tax Advisor. If you want to unlock it, it's $6 a month. As the white label creator, you put the price point on the app, and that determines whether it's locked or unlocked as far as your white label. Lots of fun in how you kind of display things, and I think it works out very well. If you go into the AI workstation, this is the layout that I currently have. But again, you can take all of these apps and simply edit them and move them in and out of the folders as you see fit. Okay? Lots of fun. It gives you a lot of flexibility. That's how you view it. Make it simpler for yourself. If you need to find an app, just go here, search for a couple of letters, and it'll pop up all of the related. If I wanted hyper realistic, I would type something, if I type correctly, HYP, and boom, I'm in there. Okay, very simple, nice new way to kind of organize everything on your platform. Let's talk about today's marketing and AI workstation lessons. One of the key things that all of us need is lead generation and new business. Joel and I have spoken several times on different styles of lead generation. We've talked about just organic marketing. Joel just mentioned AEO, which is related to SEO/AEO organic marketing, where you make sure your website and all of your content has lots of conversational pointers to your products and services. Everything is the naming conventions, everything that you need, all work towards driving people to your content and website. Another type of advertising is paid advertising, where you have ads on Meta, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, all over. And so those are paid, Google paid advertising that drives traffic again to your landing pages and your products and services. I'm going to share another methodology which you can actually combine both for organic and paid search and social media search. It's a very simple technique. Almost every business, and no matter what industry, can benefit from a quiz or assessment as a lead magnet. The way that you design that lead magnet is to give them something for free, in this case, a quiz or an assessment. It drives people's curiosity, especially if you combine it with a challenge. I'll show you how the challenge part works when we get a little closer to the end. Let's start with just designing first a quiz. And again, the quiz is going to always be tailored to your business model, and you can make it as simple or as complex. The real key about it is just make it challenging enough to get people to want to play along. It's also called gamification, where people want to play along and they want to get that challenge. And then you can tie that challenge as well onto other upsells, whether it be training and or products and services that you're selling. It all ties together to drive traffic towards your more expensive products, and in the case of your white label, towards your white label. You want to have all of those things working together. In this case, we're talking about creating a quiz. I'll show you a quick example and how we created the quiz. This particular quiz is one of T-Mac's, one of the 1000X trainer's favorite thing. He likes to ask the question, what is your AIQ? In that AIQ, you create this quiz slash assessment. It's kind of what we used to do in some of my presentations. If you've seen some of my original presentations, we have the AIQ. As a matter of fact, Joel has AIQ built into his Zoho platform, and we'll talk a little bit about that later for all the fans of Zoho. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit. But my main point is the questions and answers have to be challenging enough to make it interesting. Can you identify a business problem AI could solve? You can say, yeah, I can design tools. I can name specific AI tools. Can you design a product or offer using AI tools? Can you create a customer journey? You can go back and forth and answer these questions. I'm not going to go step by step. I'll put the link for the quiz in the chat once we've created it. What we're doing is actually going to create a quiz similar to this, okay? Let's go ahead and start. Now, I'm going to run this through. Let me grab one of the OG tools here. By the way, you can do this challenge in any AI tool. I'm going to do this particular one in chat, and only reason being I want to make it generic enough that anybody can use it. If you're in the BuildBiz platform, you can use the Ask AI Sales. It's also similar to ChatGPT in functionality, where you just have a conversation with it. You can do it in chat, you can do it in Perplexity, you can do it in Claude, but obviously if you have the platform and you're paying for it already, it's best to do it in the platform. I'm doing it this way because I have some training already built into this particular process that I want to utilize. I have a document that I'm also going to share with everybody. It's going to talk about how to build this entire thing. In this case, the prompt is a little lengthy. That's the reason why I'm going to cheat and copy paste it. I'll give this document to everybody at the end, and you'll have this doc as well. We're going to share a lot of fun stuff with you today. This particular document, you are a world-class expert who specializes in building applications for services business. I want you to help me create an outline process I can use to give my AI app development team that can build me an app for my business. Digital Express AI goes on to describe the actual quiz and having at least 10 questions and so on and so forth. The idea is I'm giving the overall starting point here. I'm going to drop this in. Now, while it's doing this, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing and why we're doing this. Today, I'm going to introduce a new app in the platform. If you're in the BuildBiz platform, it should also be in the AI Workstation platform. Look for this app called Famous.AI. And what's great about this app is it is a unbelievably easy to use app development platform. And the way to think of it is it's the latest in agentic technology where, again, we've talked about this. ChatGPT is wonderful. You can ask it questions. It can go ahead and create responses to your questions. But when you want to have AI perform tasks, you want to use an agent. Famous is an example of an agent that is like hiring a team of developers that number one, speak English. Number two, if you built apps, you know the joke there. Number one, speak English. Number two, they're very good at just working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They deliver promptly. They deliver what you want them to deliver for the most part. You'll have to go back and forth with it to make sure it understands, but it really, really does a great job. Now, here's what I've learned. When I say speak English, I'm actually talking about the fact that most developers think in code. When you ask them a question or ask them to do something for you, it's not so much that they don't understand English, it's that they just think on a different level. Sometimes there's a disconnect in what you ask them to do and what they deliver. Oftentimes it takes a long time and it costs a lot of money. I don't know if you've ever built an app, but it oftentimes is $30,000, $40,000 to get even a basic app built out for you. And this tool will allow you to do all of that and just speak to the AI in simple sentences. Anyone can do this, okay? I want to stress that part. The app is a very simple layout when it comes to working with it, and it's kind of similar to the whole idea of just like ChatGPT and any of the really good agentic models. The one thing I'll point out here is you can start the app off in either website mode or mobile app mode. What's the difference? I would say 80% of you should start in website mode. Website mode allows you to do is build a web app, and the web app can be used on both desktop, laptop, iPad, any tablet, mobile. It's the way to start. And you can build what we call a minimally viable product, meaning a starting point product. From there, you can start tweaking it, share it with your friends, family, coworkers, and get their feedback on your app. Once you've gotten it to the point where you're happy with it, if you need a mobile app, you can build a mobile app, and building the mobile app works the same way as the website app. You start in the same box. The only distinction is the code that the Famous.AI app development virtual agent is going to deliver. In the website code, it's designed for any browser, any iPhone, Android can use it immediately. If you build an app, you have to submit that app to one of the app stores, Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and your users have to go to one of those to download it before they can use it. If you're just doing something like I'm doing today, which is a quiz, you don't want to add that friction of having people go download your app. If you have an app that has a specific purpose, it's worth it to build an app. But 80% of you in your business days, you just want a great place where people can go and use your technology and your products and services. Start with a website build. I get questions. And no, you can't just copy one format to another because it's just different coding. Okay. Maybe in the future we'll be able to do that. But right now you can't. One of the things that makes this product better than some of the competition is that if you do build a mobile app, we give you everything you need to submit it to Apple and Google. So you don't have to hire a developer to create that mobile app. It's a fantastic way to build both web apps and mobile apps. I spent a little bit on the soapbox there, but I really want everybody to kind of get those key concepts before they start building. Okay. All right, so this is what we're doing all this for. We're asking it to lay out. I understand you're creating an AI-powered self-assessment app, AIQ, AI intelligent quotient, and then deliver personalized journeys. It's kind of walking through what I want it to do. And in this case, I'm going to tell it I want the name of the app to be, I can just say this, by the way, to be AIQ quiz. All right. I just want to make sure it knows that. It's kind of following along what I'm asking it, and maybe in my prompt I had some different naming conventions, but I want to keep it simple. AIQ quiz is the name, and so it's kind of laid that out for me. We're going to jump to the next prompt, and in the next prompt, this is where you are going to have to edit this document. I just picked a group of products and services like training, upsells. I have in here the Build Biz platform. You're going to want to take all of these and convert them to your business. Joel, for example, would be AI Workstation and all the other great products he's planning to deliver, whether it's in Zoho or in AI Workstation. You would just modify this to cover that. Let me go ahead and tell it what I want just by copy paste here. I want you to name the app. Here are my products. And then I laid out all my products and hit the go button. Even for the Build Biz, I told it it's $19.95, it's $140 a year. Now, why am I doing all of this? The idea is, let me change this name. I want to make it more about me. Atomic Offers is the technique, and I want it to be powered by my company name. And so, what's the concepts here? We have a quiz. It's simple quiz, 10 or 20 questions. They take the assessment. When they get done with the assessment, I want to provide them with automated ways to upsell them into my platform. I have a lot of products there. Automated upsell into some of my training. They take the quiz. Let's say they're beginner level on the quiz. I'll show them more beginner tools. If they're more advanced, I might sell them into the platform where they can start using the white label to generate their own custom AI tools, that kind of thing. You just want to end up dropping them into the next level if they're more advanced based on their responses. Number one, I get their name, email, and so on. Let me finish this quiz. I kind of got sidetracked. You can see what we're building. The first thing you want to do is a lead generation tool. People want to know their answer. What is my answer? How did I do on this quiz? You want them to put in their information and get a little bit of information that you can sell to. I want to use it to grow my existing business. They can join your newsletter. This is the kind of app that you want to generate that lead generation tool. That's the purpose of it. And then this is such a simple app, but it gets all that lead gen information. And then you can say, hey, you can retake it or you can drop them into this part. And this is where the fun part. Now you've got them signing up for classes. And this is just, again, sample stuff. But the idea is, hey, I want to do this. And so here's a atomic offer, or I like the Godfather offer. I'm going to get all of this for $97. Hey, sure. And again, get that impulse buy, right? And so you sign them up for your pre-done classes and you can upsell them later to one-on-one strategy sessions. Get them into the sales funnel, as Joel spoke about one of his trainings. Get them into the ecosystem. Another analogy is get them on the cruise ship. Once they're on the cruise ship, you can sell them hot dogs and this and that because they're already on there. Sell them tours, all kinds of things you can sell them once you get them on the cruise ship. All kinds of great analogies for what we're trying to do here. Get the lead, give them some offers immediately automated, and then get them into the ecosystem so that you can upsell them. Okay? All right, I think that kind of covers the why we're doing this. And so let me go back and keep building this out. We have the quiz starting to put together here. Let me keep it moving along. Let me make sure I didn't skip any prompts. Hold on. I'm just walking through my doc here. We want to start off there. We want to drop in the products. And then we'll come back to this one. Let's go here. All right, so let's go ahead and get the actual starting of the quiz. Let's take a look. I walked through this just before I started the call. I wanted to have all these prompts already done. It's faster. We only have an hour, so we want to get all the way through this as quickly as possible. This is a really fun lesson because the AI is doing all the heavy lifting. In this case, we're building out the quiz. We got the questions and things like that. And you can modify this based on your industry, of course. It's going to build that out. It has the key as to what each one is because you want it to have different weighting based on where it kind of comes up. This is the AI's pass on it. You can use that scoring grid and you can say low IQ. That's not very nice. I wouldn't use that terminology, right? And then you can basically build it out. I wanted to show you how the AI is putting this together, but then I do have my own response. And again, these are all in the chat where I tell it what questions and answers I want it to use. The idea is let it do an iteration and see if it comes up, but you should know what you want to ask your users and customers and make sure they get what they need. Now it's building out that, and it's going to put together a new set of Q&A questions. I also asked it to create a mock-up for me. You can build this into your landing page, and we'll talk about the difference between the app and the landing page as we get through here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. All right, these are the Q&A pieces right here. And then we'll get down to the other mock-up that it came up with. I personally hate the brain icons. I always take those out. Whenever you say AI to an AI, it automatically tries to brag about how smart it is and it uses a brain for the icons. Now that I've got the layout of how I want this to be, this mock-up is great for your landing page, and you should definitely have that. It kind of created the same thing. And now I'm going to ask it to create the actual prompt. I'm not an engineer, an app creator. I don't speak like one, but my goal is to create a prompt that I could give Famous.AI initially, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to now take everything we just did and put it into a single prompt that I can feed into Famous.AI to build the app for me. This is where the fun really comes into play. What's the purpose of the app? A 20 quiz question, a fractional scoring system, a custom AI learning journey, and it's giving everything, we'll feed in the wire mockup, the full quiz, the product list, and the design theme. It's going to have all of that in there as well. You can give it to you in a text file that you upload. That's not a bad way to communicate with. I'm doing it this way because it also saves time. Joel will testify to this. You can communicate with the app one question at a time, one prompt at a time. You don't have to combine it into one of these mega prompts. There's arguments for doing it either way. All right. I'm building an app called AI Quiz developed by Digital Express AI. I'll take out one of these periods. There we go. This is not a basic quiz, it's a comprehensive. So I'm giving it all of the explanation and everything, what we're building, why we're doing it, how the results work. I'll also the mock-up that we created and the full quiz. We'll lay all this stuff out so I can build this app. I'm going to start with a desktop or a standard web app. You launch it and it's on its way. I'll pause here, see if there's any initial questions on what we're doing. Another reason to build a web app first is that it's faster. When you're building a mobile app, not only are you building similar kind of look and feel to the website version, but you're actually building a complete format is React that the apps are built on. And React is great because it works on both Apple and Android systems, but that does take more coding, therefore more time required for each step. Another good reason to build from a web app point of view. Okay, cool. Let me bring up a folder here. There we go. All right, cool. We've got the app. I did all of this already, so it'll speed the process. The link is in the platform for everybody who is a platform member, but I can also give it again in case anybody's missing it. Yeah, if you're already a member, you can just click the link and get right in. There's a lot of fun things you can do with this. Okay, so I got the document here that I was looking for. This is the AI quiz. Now I want to make sure I got all of the pieces I need, given there's the quiz itself. All right. The scoring system. And so we need to just make sure we get all of this in here. And here's the self-assessment. I'm going to grab this section here. We'll see what it builds out by itself. But I have the scoring system and I have also the schema. Okay, cool. Says it's finishing up and building. And on the right here, you can see I'm just copy pasting the rest of the stuff to make sure I get it all in there. This should be done in just a few seconds. It was a long prompt. We're asking it to do a lot, and it's actually building all of these things at the same time. Now, one of the fun things I can do while it is doing that is, let's go back here. Let's duplicate this and go here. And you can actually tackle this in many different ways. The easiest is to kind of combine the two things that we've already started. Let me show you where I'm going. I'm going to show you the end result, and then I'll also show you it as I build it. So let's say we're going towards this kind of a landing page for our app icon. We're going to build out both of these at the same time. This is where the fun part comes in. I will go back here to my dashboard. I need to change who I'm logged in as. Let me do it in another browser so I don't interrupt this browser. Yeah, okay. If you don't want to talk to me, I won't talk anymore. User errors. You see, users can still make errors. So we're going to go ahead and repackage it again. All right, actually, we'll do two things. We know where we're building towards. We're building towards this here, this AIQ page. This is the app that we're going to end up with. And so also like in a good cooking show, I will jump to the end result of what we're also going to build, which is this IQ page, this landing page. This is the goal of what we want to create. I'm going to show you how we get to that as well. So let's bring this over. All right, so now I've got another browser. Let's see who I'm logged in as. I'm going to sign out and sign back in and change my user account. All right, cool. Now, when I go to my dashboard here, I have a couple of projects. So I can see the project. This is the prompt that I'm going to use to build the actual page. And I'm going to tell it that here's the link to my quiz. And on the bottom, it'll have a prompt to guide it to where I want to go. I'm going to tell it everything that I want. I want to build a landing page for my app called IQ Quiz, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to give a link to my existing quiz, which is still building in the other page. Again, when it's done, I will have a URL that I can share that I can use for my quiz. We're just going to jump ahead and assume that my quiz was built, but it's still working on it. This is telling it what I want to see on the page and so on. In this case, I'm going to just use it as is. I'm going to rebuild this for my own purposes with Digital Express a little later. But for right now, I'm just going to focus on getting this started. Again, building a website app. This is actually going to be a landing page. What is interesting about this is you can build your app, you can build your landing page, all on the same app builder in Famous.AI. It's really fun. And then you can decide where you want to utilize this. If you already have the platform and you've built out your website in AEO funnels, you can still use AEO funnels and just have it point to your quiz that you've created. You have your landing page, you got your quiz. You may want to build a simple landing page just for your quiz. You got lots of multiple tools, okay? Right now, we're building out the landing page for the quiz. Let me go back to the quiz itself. Let's see if it has recovered from the user error. It's still fighting with me here. I think I have, let's see. prompt to fully understand. Let's do this. I'm having a little bit of a challenge here, and this is because I interrupted it. So sometimes it is easier and faster to simply start again. I do want to see if we can get this to kind of go. There we go. All right, so let's see if we get this to build out and go. And this time I will not interrupt it. All right, so it's finishing up on the website landing page part of the build. And let's see, it's tackling an issue.
Danny, I sent a couple of questions in the chat.
How about external links and payment processing? Okay, so those are both also easy to do. And the way that you deal with external APIs and processing links is you simply tell it that's what you want to do. Let's say you're going to use Stripe as your payment gateway processor. The app development agent already understands the concept of it, and you simply say, I want on this page to be able to either sign people up for subscriptions, or I want to sell these products or services. I want to use Stripe as my payment gateway. And that's it. You just tell it that. What it'll do then is give you the ability to add your API key for Stripe. That it will do. What would you retail the cost to building apps and landing pages for small business and solopreneurs? Great question. It really is, again, the complexity of the site. How many pages is it? What's the functionality on it? There's no absolute right or wrong about it. On average, you might be $8.99 as a starting point. You could be $500 if it's super simple. You could be $2,500 for a complex site. You could be $25,000 for a truly complex site. It really has to do a lot about the person who's building it and also all the functionality that you're going to have on it. That's kind of how it works. I'm trying to see who else. And let's see where we are. It's finishing up the components. Okay, good. These are all good signs. Also, while it is doing that, I will continue on doing one more thing. I should show you how I'm going to build the little girl who's going to do the challenge for me. I joked about that before. One of the things you want to do, this is the page that we're working on. What's your AIQ? Get your custom AIQ booster. All these things are part of what it's doing and the challenge that we're starting. Start the free AIQ quiz. At the top of the page, it lays out why they should do it, what is in it for them, that kind of thing. And then we created a little UGC style avatar. This is.
You run companies. I run circles around you in AI. My AIQ is 9.0. What's yours? Hit the button. Take the AIQ quiz and prove that age really does bring wisdom.
I love it. It's simple. It'll get people because you drop that in a vertical in a TikTok or a reel, and it gets people to, what the hell is she talking about? I'm smarter than, that kind of thing. Are you smarter?
What's the maximum length of that?
Say it again?
What is the maximum length of that little reel?
No, literally, it's whatever you type as a script. And I'm going to go show you how to do that right now. In the platform, you just look for a tool. Let's see, what do we call it? Actually, in the platform, it is called Avatar, Spokesperson Avatar. You can rename these to whatever you want to rename them. And then you just say, create a new project. Just look for Avatar or Spokesperson. Either one will get you to this app. And you create your script. And in the document that I shared with you, let me show you what I did to get to that script. This is also a fun part of the build. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, we've got this. I'll move this out the way. There we go. All right, cool. We essentially I forgot to put the prompt in here. Let me grab the prompt quickly. Sorry, I thought I had it in there. User error. And let me go back here. There we go. I think I found it. I'll just build it from scratch. It'll be faster anyway. Okay, got all of this fun stuff. And did a couple of things to build this character out. First, I used hyperrealistic and created a couple of different icons I can use for this. And I just put them under the category of UGC. I've got people that I created in UGC world. You can pick the spokesperson look and feel that you want to use. I like the cartoons because what cartoons do for you is it takes the uncanny valley out of the conversation. You don't feel like something weird is going on when the lips don't quite sync or anything like that, because it's a cartoon. You just assume it's AI generated cartoon. Let's test it with a live spokesperson or hyper realistic spokesperson versus the cartoon and kind of see what we think of it. I'm going to start with this. I want to create a funny script where the attached little girl challenges adults to the IQ quiz challenge. I want her to have some attitude and explain that she is smarter than adults and challenge them to take the quiz. Give me 3 examples of a quick script. Let's take a look. Let's see what it comes up with. While it's doing that, I will find some of the scripts that I created before. Wait, y'all still typing how to use AI into Google? Oh, that's cute. I just scored. I love it. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, big people, y'all scared of a little quiz? I took the AI quiz and guess what? I scored higher than my uncle and my teacher. Those are pretty good. Some of you adults out there talking about being a CEO, but you don't even know your AIQ score. Me, I know mine. I'm running things at recess and in the metaverse. Here's the deal. Take the AI quiz. All 3 of those are funny. Love it. Now what you do is you just tell it, remove narration and just give me the script. The avatar can read. So the idea is you don't want to have the directions and things. You just want the actual script. 1, 2, and 3, which one do you like? They're all pretty funny.
Can you look at the chat? Because I got a question.
Okay, hold on.
But I can tell you what it is. I want to know, can you connect that little girl
To a chatbot or knowledge?
the avatar?
Right. The avatar itself, it's sort of coming. We don't have a complete way to do that right this second. That is something that's on the roadmap. For right now, you're using a predetermined script, not just interactive. So the answer is that it will be there, but not right now. At least not in the platform itself. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Which one do you like?
I like
3? All right,
yeah.
cool.
And can we use this on our site too? The quiz that you
Yes, of course. That's the idea is we want to have this quiz on all of our, tailor it to your business, meaning actually go through the steps of creating your own quiz that's related to whatever it is that you're going to sell, so that when they get done with the quiz, it drives them to your products and services.
Tina and I, she's already developed a quiz for the Zoho. Add your questions to it. Tina, if you're listening, that's one of the things we can put on the plate in addition to all the other things you have.
Here's the script. It's real short and sweet. You can make it a little longer for tone and things like that. But I just wanted to show this as an example. We'll continue to the voiceover. Same thing here. You can upload your own voice if you have a voice that you prefer.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
You can walk through all of these and find a voice that you want to use. It's about finding the right voice for whatever it is that you want.
I understand how you feel. Would it work if you tried talking with them again?
Sometimes it is better to lose and do the right thing than to win and do the wrong thing.
All of these are a little older, but not terrible. We can use it for our example.
The rain pounded hard.
Definitely not. I had played around with this the other day.
Go back up top. There's one that says long storyteller because I have a script that I want to use. Keep going. I'm sure it's there. There you go. Long storyteller.
Don't smother each other. No one can grow in the shade.
It sounds like a book. Got it. That's for a book.
Exactly.
Ideas are the beginning points of all fortunes.
And I'm trying to find.
Just trust yourself. Then you will know how to live.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm, you'll never enjoy the sunshine.
You can choose your avatar. You can choose any of these avatars in different shapes. You got landscape, you got portrait. You can pick whether it's horizontal or vertical. In this scenario, I'm going to upload an avatar. I'm going to pick one of the ones we were just looking at, and then we'll come back and pick another one if it doesn't quite work. All right, so we've got the avatar in there, and we'll continue to generate. And we can play our voice.
You call yourself a CEO, but you don't even know your IQ score. Me? I already know mine. I run things at recess and in the metaverse. Take the quiz. Beat my score if you can.
It doesn't quite work with that voice, but it is good enough. I think I liked some of the other voices a little better, but we're going to finish this example so we can get this done. I'll go back and spend some time and either upload my own voice, which is not hard to do, and also generate my own. So what it's doing right now is generating that spokesperson. All right, where was I? I was doing some other things in the other browser. Let's see where we are. And I'm going to wrap this up and get this all working. Also, I know that you were working on some things.
Oh, okay. While that was rendering, I was going to tell you you could look at
You
mine.
call yourself a CEO, but you don't even know your AIQ score. Me? I already know mine. I run things at recess and in the metaverse. Take the quiz. Beat my score if you can.
That definitely works. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I like it because it's such a contrast between what you expect, between her voice and the way she looks. I think it works for me. I click on like, wow, this is cute. I take the survey.
I think the idea is, again, go for the look and feel that works for you and your target audience. So we kind of have her there, and we can go back to one of the ones that did work instead of worrying about the ones that did not work. Here we have the quiz, and it's looking pretty good. Once we build out that page, let me see if I can find the original page. I know I have too many things open. What you would need to do is, number one, either embed the video, or number two, just upload the video to YouTube or any other Vimeo, Wistia, whatever you're using, as long as you can get either an embed code or a link that the AI can use. And in the coding, you would just point it to that page. That's the end result there. And this is the prompt that I use to get the video embedded. Super simple prompt. Let me bring this over and show it to you. I want to add a YouTube video just above why take the quiz section. Here's the link. And so I told it where I want it to go, what's the name of the YouTube video. Super simple, easy to make changes, easy to edit. I just wanted to show you that. One of the other fun things you can do is I want to add animation to my site, and I want to make this website pop. And what it did is it went back and added these motions that are in the website. It added a hover effect so that when I go over these icons, I get that hover effect. And it just has subtle movement on the website, all from saying something like, I want to make it pop. I want to add some animation and I want to make it pop. I'll just add that as a final pro tip. Once you get done with your website, it's really easy. You can see now it has all of the quiz points here. It has the bundles starting at $97 of what you get. And then it has the ability for you to start your quiz. When you click on it, it bounces to the AIQ quiz. That kind of gives you an overview of how to do all of this. When I create the video and upload it, I'll also include the document so that anybody can go back to the AI Lunch and Learn under the AI Workstation and get the document as well. All right. I'll pause here, see if there's any more questions. Oh, I do want to share, Joel also did his first experiment with this. Joel, do you want to show your example?
Yeah, sure. I'll share my screen.
Yeah, let me stop here.
Okay, as Danny was saying, this app, he told me about it last week. He told me he was going out to the advanced training, and that's where this was going to be premiere. And so I started playing around with it. And I tell you, within 2 hours yesterday, I had a basic product. I created a whole new product line. And I also discovered that once you run the app, you can go back, take a look at it, and then you can come in just like Danny did, make on the left-hand side, make changes in terms of the colors, the fonts, and things of that nature. I think that's a good feature if you're not happy with the first iteration. Let's see if I can preview it. Here, okay, here it is. When I created this app, I started with the Big Dream generator. I asked it to create an app where I can combine all of my products and services under one brand. You have to go through your own algorithmic process in terms of your product and services. You need to know everything there is to know about your business, even by providing the links to my different websites, nonprofit.ai, AI for Humanity Solution, Kimmy Group, Berean Investigations, LinkedIn. You could take all of that when you start to gather data for the Big Dream generator. Why did I do that? Because I have so many products and services, and now I'm doing AI training. And so I'm like, okay, I want to focus on a niche. I decided to focus on nonprofits, Christian organizations, and community public-private partnerships. And so I asked it to develop me that framework. And so what it came up with is FaithWorks One. Under FaithWorks One, it's going to be different brands such as nonprofit, ministry, AI for ministries, and AI for everyday people. Those different brands under FaithWorks One. But what FaithWorks One gives you is legal protection, one dashboard, the power tools, and all of these things within the FaithWorks One ecosystem. And this site tells you the benefits of FaithWorks One. What's missing here are the actual specific apps or use cases. This was a first run. Never used the tool before other than setting it up. The Big Dream generator did all the heavy lifting, as Danny would say. And that's the important thing, because once you have that document, you can do and make and have or be anything you want. Again, my emphasis is everything you need in one platform, dealing with nonprofits and things of that nature, everything your organizational needs. And this is where Danny was talking about the animations and making it pop. I didn't do that. That's a pro tip. Guess what? When you come back, these things are going to be shaking around like the first generation of the Apple screen. That's what it looked like to me, Danny. That is the site. And Danny, from a first run perspective, it picked up everything, the success stories, testimonials, and then it ended up with the offer. So yeah, I think the tool itself by itself, it's $1 million proposition. And I think anybody out there, if they just want to focus on the niche and spend their whole day just doing this application plus a bot or something like that, you can do that and make a living. I think it's great. It's a good job. Deal AI did a wonderful tool.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I've just started playing with it more and more. I started building things, and as you saw, it's an iteration process. I'll be doing this again on Tuesday to continue down that path, showing people how to continue to build it. Next Thursday, we'll have a more advanced continuation. The idea is you build an app, you build a landing page, you can plug them into your existing landing pages. You can use the external app to plug them into your existing white label and platform. So you have infinite flexibility about what you can build now with minimal expertise in coding. I'll show you how you can take what you've just built. Let's say you've got it 99% of the way there, but there's something you're just stuck on that requires some advanced coding. You can give all of the code to a developer on GitHub or somewhere and have them finish that last polished part for you. If you're building a mobile app, you can take it right from where you are and submit that mobile app to Apple Store or Google Play Store. So it builds a complete platform for you. If you're building a website, it automatically allows you to connect a database. Let's say you want to have people log into your app or your platform. It'll build out that infrastructure back end for you automatically. We talked about Stripe integration. We'll talk about Zoho integrations because we can get APIs from Zoho that we can point it to and say, hey, I want you to go here and do this in the Zoho platform. Now you have a robust CRM system, and all you have to do is connect the front end to the back end. That's the kind of stuff we're going to be able to do in a really meaningful way. And that's why I'm really excited about all of the possibilities here. Come back next week and we'll continue this training and get you guys even further along the line. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Tina, thanks for jumping on. Joel, you have anything else you want to say?
No, thanks. Thanks, Tina.
All righty. This is so cool and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to make some money, make some more money. I love it. But next week, we'll also take a look at adding this to social media, the little girl with the quiz.
Yeah, I'm gonna be messing around with that.
It's easy to do.
Get with
Yeah.
Danny.
It's easy to make that UGC content. And I
That's so
think that,
cool. I like
yeah,
that.
and that's kind of like the subtle things. Now you can throw that out there, have it point to your quiz or your website, whatever you're driving them to. But obviously, the quiz is a good, easy, free deliverable that you can make in Famous in a very short period of time and drive people right there and then have the little girl challenge them to come in and take the quiz. And obviously from there, you push them into your other products. Real simple lead gen technique that we're going to use to build all of our businesses. All right, everybody, have a fantastic weekend. We'll pick this up on Tuesday, 12 noon.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.